to Top Road Reality, episode 80. 80, man.
80.
Part 4, the list that
does not miss.
And now we are in the finals of the King of the Jobber tournament here, folks.
Finals, we took 2 weeks off, so the finals would have been back in the day, but guess what? It's today.
And we are down to a number 7 seed and leaping Lanny Poffo, and a number 3 seed, the Brooklyn Brawler. So before we give you the winners, take a short look at this video package we have set up of Lanny Poffo and the Brooklyn Brawler. Enjoy. I hope you enjoyed that video package and it made it so much clearer who's going to win the tournament.
Yes, hopefully it gave you an idea of the direction that we're going in here, because it's a number 7 versus the number 3. Who could it be?
Who could it be? Would it be the brother of the Macho Man Randy Savage, or would it be the
He did get through the tournament, in my opinion, because of that. I said he's the brother, he's beating that person. But we can't go off of that. But he is Leapin' Lanny. He is the genius.
Yes.
He is Leapin' Lanny Poffo. And then you have a man who has followed everybody.
And I would also call him a genius as well. He is smart enough to get Bobby the Brain Heenan as his manager. How smart is that? How smart is it to have the brain to lead your career?
Unfortunately, the brain dropped him like a bad habit, but
Brooklyn Brawler, Red Rooster side.
That's true. Brooklyn Brawler has, he has transcended. He has been on different generations. He's been during the Hogan era. He has been there in the Attitude era. He's worked backstage. He was there when the revival of ECW came about for the WWE. He became the Boston Brawler just to become a heel for a very short time. He's even beat Shawn Michaels, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Poffo
has beaten
Hulk Hogan.
Hogan!
Who can say that?
Who can say they beat Hogan? Not even Genius's manager, Mr. Perfect. What happened? That scared me, ladies and gentlemen. You didn't see it, but we saw it, and it scared me.
Heart Attack City.
Arr! Like Jose Lothario over here. You got to watch part 2 to understand that. Which everybody watches part 2, so you already know what I'm talking about.
Yes. So,
who will it be?
Who do you think will be the champion of the Jobbers, the king of the Jobbers?
Here's the fun part about it. It doesn't matter what you think.
That is true. Hate to be that stiff, but
so stiff, so mean, so cruel.
But
it's the truth.
The 2015 King of the Jobber Champion Tournament winner is.
You forgot your little sounds. I did that.
Leapin' Lanny Poffo pulls out the victory and becomes our first King of the Jobber.
Very good, very good. He is on my friends list, so maybe I'll tag him. Let him know.
Tag him, let him know that
he's a winner.
He picked up a win in a fake tournament on a fake wrestling talk show on YouTube. He should be
that tournament's faker than anything that's ever happened in wrestling. Because, ladies and gentlemen, he ain't getting no plaque. He's not getting a title belt. Well, can't say belt, can we?
No, but he's getting a lot of claps here. So, not getting the clap. He's getting a lot of claps.
Hopefully he doesn't have the clap.
He can't go around saying he got the clap from Top Rope Reality, so.
But he's getting a lot of claps.
Okay, off to you, Lenny. Congratulations on winning the King of the Jobber tournament. We're going to put our minds together now in a couple of short weeks, maybe.
You gotta have a new tournament.
86, 87, something like that. We'll think of a new tournament, and we will start off with that one. So, but up next, we're going to talk about the 11.
Wiggle!
It'll be a short tournament. The 11 long-term booking directions.
Tiny list, wouldn't it?
It would be about what, 5 or 6 feet. That's about it. If that much.
Well, it could be 6 feet. Yeah, could be 6 feet. Maybe about 6
stand
inches.
on top of each other, stand on top of each other's head.
Maybe 3 feet.
Might be the midget tournament.
Oh.
And we're looking at now the 11 long-term booking directions for the WWE in 2015 and 2016. Now we're at number 2, The Undertaker's retirement story. I know.
How did you say that again?
All the Survivor Series talking, my tongue is wore out after 2 weeks.
Say that.
Number 2 this week on the 11 long-term booking directions of WWE in 2015 and 2016. The Undertaker's retirement story.
When I heard, wow.
Take it away.
Wow, that was a Undertaker. The Undertaker. You ain't a little country there, did you? Undertaker.
Well, I'm just so excited because Jeff Savage was here, you know, and answered those great 10
He
questions.
did. He answered those great questions on part 3. If you didn't watch it, you got to check it out, ladies and gentlemen. What a segment we had for you there on part 3. But let's get into the Undertaker's retirement story. One of these biggest long-term concerns is how to book The Undertaker at next year's WrestleMania 32.
The biggest WrestleMania.
Emanating from Taker's home state of Texas, it is expected that he'll retire from the business at the 100,000 people capacity show. The question is, how do you send him out? At the age of 51, he'll need an opponent who can help carry the action, but then there's also the Sting factor. As many fans are still... This was typed up before Sting was injured, so we'll just keep going here. As many fans are still wanting to see Taker wrestling the WCW superstar known as the franchise of the brand, Sting. Beyond those booking decisions, we are also having to think whether or not to induct The Undertaker into the Hall of Fame on the eve of his last match like they did for Ric Flair. It makes sense in his home state, but then it could also serve as a distraction to his actual Mania feud. These are the considerations that we are having to make right now. The names being discussed for his final ever match include John Cena, Kevin Owens, which would be interesting, Brock Lesnar. Nope, they're done as of Hell in a Cell. They have said that's the final match ever, but they also said once in a lifetime, didn't they? And
let's not go back to that.
And finally, Sting. Nothing is decided yet, but around September time is when things usually start getting serious. Well,
right now they're getting serious.
We're in November, and he's in a feud now with Bray Wyatt, obviously.
Yes, him and Kane. Him
and Kane are both in a feud. Will they add 2 more people and have a Survivor Series match? We don't know. Who fits the mold, though, to really team with them? Or are they just...
How about the Dudley Boys?
That's true, too. Are they just going to put 2 people in there to lose so it's really 2 on 4 and the 2 guys wipe out the other 4?
Could be.
Because I think if they do that way, Braun Strowman needs to be counted out. He does not need to pin, no submission, no pin. He needs to be counted out, and that doesn't hurt him at all.
And see, I mean, even they didn't put Strowman's name in here, but he was even talked about as being the opponent.
Yeah, this was all typed up before Braun, I think, he was even around. But Kevin Owens would be an interesting pick. I would like that. They still need to keep him building up, though. You don't want to make him look weak going into that. Sting right now.
And could John Cena be taking the break now?
To get ready for that.
To start up, and then roll. They started it
up.
Start that feud.
Yeah, because
who was to say that maybe Taker eliminates Cena out of the Royal Rumble, or Cena eliminates Taker out of the Royal Rumble?
Right. So the way that Cena started his career could be the way that Undertaker ends his career. Cena's first real big match, besides, of course, the whole Kurt Angle thing,
right,
was a little small feud with The Undertaker on the SmackDown brand. So could Undertaker end his career the way that Cena started?
And that'd be I want somebody who is believable.
Yes, you got to have it. And who's left? Who is left? Sting would be believable, but he already has lost to not only Triple H, but Seth Rollins as well.
Yes.
He won a tag team match and a regular match against Big Show, blah, 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 on Raw. Everybody's beating the Big Show. My grandma could beat the Big Show nowadays. So, senior hate me on Black Hogan on that one. But anyway.
But Sting and Taker, everybody would not worry about the wins and losses.
No, nobody cares about the wins and losses. And they both live in Texas right now.
And maybe Sting is Maybe he's going to come back for that. Maybe
that's why they're holding off on him. Maybe they're trying to say, hey, you stay at the house, you rest up, we'll see what happens. And by December, maybe they say, oh, let's go ahead and double check, make sure everything's on the up with you.
And
let's
you
do
will
the
not
stress
wrestle a
test and all
match.
that.
Your only match will be against Taker.
Exactly.
It'll be face to face, mind games. That is it. No touching.
Yeah, because what's to say if, let's say Undertaker might be in the Royal Rumble. It's his last hurrah. It's his last run, so let him be in the Royal Rumble. And then Undertaker, while he's in there, it goes black. And he's like, oh, very well, blah, 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 But it goes black, and it's Crow and Screen, and Sting comes out to the entranceway. He points the bat, which they haven't been really utilizing that, but anyway, point the bat at Undertaker. Someone eliminates Undertaker because of Sting's distraction.
Right.
And you can work off of that. But Brock Lesnar, no more of that. Don't want to see that no more. We're done with Brock Lesnar. He won the feud. The feud's over with. Kevin Owens would be interesting. Sting would also be interesting. But it wouldn't matter really wins and losses on that situation because, that's, both of them have lost a lot here lately. So it really doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter on that. John Cena would be the most believable one to do it.
It would be a top draw main event.
It would be a top draw main event for Texas with a huge capacity crowd that they were getting. Plus, here's the thing. They know that if Cena's taking on Undertaker, number one, it's Undertaker's home state. Number two, it's John Cena. So obviously, big fight feel, yes, great, big fight feel, but Cena would be getting booed. And they know that ahead of time. They already know that the capacity crowd is mainly going to boo him. Yes, they're going to have the women and children cheering when he comes out, but the men are going to overpower with the boos during the match because who doesn't love the Undertaker? Right. So, very interesting. I do like this whole scenario. I do think he does need to retire at that WrestleMania in Texas. Same thing, I believe that. They don't need to have a long feud or anything for this guy, but Mark Henry needs to retire as well. He's from Texas. He needs to retire at that one. It's not a big deal for him. He could be in the dang Battle Royal for all I care. I wouldn't care, but he needs to retire there. And I've also heard that Mark Henry said he's not signing another contract and he wants to end right after WrestleMania.
Christian squares over.
Yes, they put in the alumni section and he's done. So a lot of big names from the Attitude Era and a little bit past that are gone, so it's very interesting. But I will say this right here. They do not need to do the same thing they did with Flair. I do agree with them that putting Undertaker in the Hall of Fame would take away from the actual feud. It would distract people from the actual feud.
Go to 33.
Because when you do a Hall of Fame speech, they try when they do those to throw a little feud in there, like when they had Ricky Steamboat go in. He's like, Mickey Rourke, I'm gonna get this is my Oscar, and I'm gonna beat up Jericho tomorrow night. I don't want him to talk about a feud.
Okay, this WrestleMania 32, you put Sting in. Sting is the headliner to Hall of Fame.
Totally fine with that.
And Sting can have a match at WrestleMania. It doesn't make a difference.
Nope.
Taker retires at 32. He is the big draw at 33.
Yes.
You haven't seen him since last year.
Right.
You won't. This is the last time you're going to see him. You have to see the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So.
And I think it's better, especially for his character. He doesn't talk as much.
No.
So let him do his talking at the Hall of Fame, but don't have that the night before, because I do believe that is a bit of a distraction. And yes, it would be a huge situation, but Sting also lives in Texas, and Sting would also be very good in that environment to be the headliner. Because if Sting and Undertaker go in at the same time, Sting's automatically the semi-main eventer for that Hall of Fame.
Yes.
So.
And if you have these four here, Taker's winning, being his last match. It's going to be his last match. I don't want to see him and Brock again because and Sting. Do you want to waste that match? I'd rather have Sting face Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
Because Bray can take a loss. It doesn't matter because Bray takes so many losses.
Hey, and Bray even said in the interview, wins and losses do not matter, and they don't matter to him. So it's totally fine. His ticket to his money, his ticket to what he gets is his storytelling, talking. I don't know if you saw his ghost story thing he has on YouTube.
Ghost story thing. No,
you gotta see it because a lot of these ghost stories from the WWE guys, it's like a real story type thing. His ghost story is him talking about his brothers and sisters living in the woods and being saved by his sister Abigail, and Sister Abigail told them to stay far, far away from the man in the woods. And he got curious. He heard the sound in the woods, and he came closer and closer to the man in the woods. And he had a slingshot with him because they were rabbit hunting. He threw the slingshot down, to come closer. He set it down to come closer to the man in the woods. And when he came closer, the man that was in the woods, he said he was about 7 foot tall. That's scary.
That's scary.
He was about 7 foot tall, long blonde hair, he said, all the way to the ground pretty much. And he said that he was carrying an alligator with him. And I was like, oh, we got a storyline for Susie now. But anyway, because he has blonde hair, right? But anyway,
all the way to the ground.
He's carrying an alligator with him. Well, they give him time to
yeah,
that. But anyway, so he's got this ghost story going on. He's telling people that he's standing there and he's getting closer and closer, and then the man in the woods opens up his hand and it's got Bray Wyatt's slingshot in his hand, which he shouldn't have been able to get near it. So he runs, he said, as fast as his legs could take him. And he goes all the way back to the cabin. He can finally see the cabin. He goes into Abigail's room and he says, I'm sorry, Sister Abigail, I'm so sorry. I didn't listen to you. I didn't think the man in the woods was real. And he said, the man in the woods scared me so much I had to run back here because when he opened up his hand, he had my slingshot in his hand. And she starts to just calmly say, it's okay. And she starts to laugh a little bit. And he's like, why are you okay with this? And he said, because it's very simple. Bray, he had your slingshot because you are the man in the woods. And this is a 4-minute video on YouTube, him doing this ghost story, and he's in the woods telling the story, and I'm like, I was enthralled. I'm like, this is Jake Roberts all over again. It's amazing how he pulls you in. He doesn't need to win and lose. It's just like Jake Roberts never won a belt in WWE. No. He didn't need it. But Bray Wyatt versus Sting would be good. Sting needs to get a win at WrestleMania.
Yes.
He needs to go. He needs to go in the Hall of Fame. He can go in the Hall of Fame the night before, and then do the WrestleMania match beating Bray Wyatt the following night. And that would be cool if Sting was one of the people to help Undertaker. Okay, that would be interesting. I'm just saying interesting. Which could lead to that later on. If he's okay, that'd be awesome. But I think John Cena would be the best absolute choice because he's the most believable that could beat the Undertaker, even though we already know Undertaker can beat whatever.
Yes.
But in his final match,
people don't want to see John Cena beat Undertaker.
Exactly, in this final match, especially, you don't want to see the Undertaker lose to John Cena. And here's the other thing. Cena losing to Undertaker would not hurt Cena at this point because it's not like passing the torch.
No.
This is no longer passing the torch because Cena's the one holding the torch.
I know how you're going to pass it. I know.
Thank you. So, Undertaker versus John Cena would be the most marketable one. It would be the biggest draw.
I mean, Taker beats John, John shakes his hand.
And then John gets out of the ring and Undertaker does his whole thing or whatever, and then that's it. That's the last time you see him until the very next year, and that he's the main name they announced to go in the Hall of Fame. Or, like they do with other matches and stuff, they could, at the very next night, announce Undertaker goes into the Hall of Fame next year.
Yeah.
And announce it, the year before, pretty much.
Yeah. This is the first time only, never happened before. It's official.
A year out, we already know the main attraction for the Hall of Fame.
Yes, I know. Vince McMahon has made it official. The Undertaker will be in the Hall of Fame.
There you go. But anyway, I'm going to let you watch that video, by the way, because me saying it doesn't do it justice. That little video with Bray Wyatt's awesome. But anyway, we're going to move on to rebooking another pay-per-view.
I know you missed it the last 2 weeks, I know.
We were rebooking because we already, what was the other word we used for it? Not rebook, but rebuilt WCCW, World Class Championship Wrestling. Ran by the Von Erich family, but now we're rebooking WCCW in their very first ever Von Erich Memorial Parade. I don't know what I was trying to say. Broadway for some reason. Parade of Champions. Champions! And then your opening match, ladies and gentlemen, to get the crowd going.
8 matches.
8 matches here. To get the crowd going, this is huge, ladies and gentlemen. This first matchup, you have Rey Booyaka 619 Mysterio taking on Johnny Mundo, and your winner. And in my opinion, upset victory.
Yes.
Johnny Mundo puts. He doesn't put out. He pulls out the victory here.
I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot.
You shouldn't. Not even the pull out. Oh gosh. Anyway.
Even though Melina is in the second match.
She doesn't have any kids, so apparently it's worked. Anyway. Johnny Mundo picks up.
Jim, come back! We need you. We need the 80s again.
We do.
Got rufflers. Dirty 30 all over again. Come back, Jeb.
Johnny-
Come back home, Jeb. Come back home.
Johnny Mundo gets the upset victory. That's the best way to say that one. Against
John
Rey
Morrison,
Mysterio.
if you didn't know who
John Morrison, Johnny Nitro, Johnny Spade. What are they called?
In the second match is a mixed tag team match as the Iceman King Parsons with Melina took on the missing link with Victoria.
Very hosh-posh of people there.
You know the missing link in Victoria. Like, wow. It doesn't work.
Well, they're both crazy, though.
Oil and water.
Both crazy. But King Parsons and Melina don't work either.
No, but I can kind of see that a little better because he's kind of like a playboy and she's... Yeah, so... And your winner, Missing Link and Victoria.
Very good. Very good. And then your third singles... The third match is a singles match with Al Perez. His favorite. Al Perez taking on Gentleman. Chris Adams, the trainer, was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this match is Al Perez.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people want to have it now.
That's true. So senior hate metal this game.
In your next single match and the fourth match on the card, it was Ravishing Rick Rude taking on Barry Windham.
Not the Stalker.
Not the Stalker, the Claw, Barry Windham. And, I mean, these are evenly matched
Very
men.
even. Very even.
I mean, this could go one way or another. And with the Rude Awakening, Rick Rude picks up the win over Barry Windham.
Exactly. Which, I mean, you have a former NWA champion, and Rick Rude was never... Was he WCW champion?
He was NWA.
NWA champion. He wasn't.
He was international. Yes.
He's the international.
But had the WCW NWA belt, but they turned it international.
Yeah, because it was the big gold belt, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
It was. Interesting. The fifth match of the evening is a singles match with the women, with Scary, Sensational, Sister, all those things right from the one. Sherry Martel taking on Trish Stratus in what I would consider a dream matchup.
A woman, yes. And it wouldn't be no minute and 30 seconds.
No, it would not. This is one of the best of one generation versus one of the best of another generation. And ladies and gentlemen, it's just so hard to decide. So hard to decide who would win this matchup because they're so evenly matched for their generation. And you have a double count out matchup here.
Double count out. We'd have to put them ladies in the cage, keep them in the ring.
That's true.
Coming on with Mr. Rose.
Or street fight.
Yes. Lady street fight. Interesting. In the sixth match at the Parade of Champions.
Yes.
Von Erich Memorial Parade of Champions. It was for the NWA American Tag Team Championships. As your champions, the Brainbusters.
Yes.
Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, taking on the Fantastics. Bobby Fulton, Tommy Rogers.
You almost forgot their name.
I did. How'd you know?
Because you hesitated.
I had to roll it through.
You hesitated.
Not Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson. It's nutty.
And it's not Tommy Fulton and Bobby Rogers. But that actually sounds normal.
But your winners and still NWA American Tag Team Champions, the Brainbusters.
Very good matchup. Seventh matchup, you had the NWA six-man tag team title matchup. It is a lot. Exactly. The champions, Michael P.S. Hayes, along with, give me their two names. My gosh. It's not Jimmy Garvin. Not Jimmy Garvin.
Not Jimmy Garvin. Terry Gordy.
Terry Bam Bam Gordy and Buddy Roberts.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. It takes me a minute. You forgot the Fantastics. But anyway.
I got them, man.
They are the Freebirds, ladies and gentlemen. All three of them, the Freebirds. And they are taking on the man I just mentioned, Jimmy Garvin.
What?
Jimmy Garvin. They're taking on Jimmy Garvin, who was a Freebird. He was a later edition, but he was a Freebird. He was still a Freebird, through and through. Freebird for life. You know what I'm saying? And they're his tag team partners. I'd love to see how this plays out. Jimmy Garvin teaming up with Kevin and Kerry Von Erich.
Oh my God! You got to be kidding me!
That's like you talk about oil and water.
Yes. But
the Freebird does not mix well with the Von Erich, but
they hated the Von Erich.
But ladies and gentlemen, I'd love to see how this would play out in real time because I could see very easily Jimmy Garvin turning heel and setting up the Von Erichs because, ladies and gentlemen, the Freebirds retain the six-man tag team championships.
Once you're a Freebird for life.
For life, ladies and gentlemen. So don't send hate mail because that's not their slogan, but I'm just saying.
What a wonderful way to do it. You sucker in the Von Erichs.
Yep.
And then you stab the Von Erichs in the back.
At their own memorial.
For their brother. Their brother. It's a show for their brother, David.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
they have a lot of memorials because they have a lot of people die.
Yes.
I'm just saying. What?
That's when they cut it out because a
A
lot
lot
of
of
wars. Yes.
A lot of
And in the main event, this is for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
Not the NWA American, the NWA World Championship.
Your champion, Eddie Guerrero. What? What?
Huge.
What? Mind blown.
Huge. Viva la Raza!
Taking on Alberto Del Rio.
Viva Del Rio.
And your winner.
Look. That little thing going on there. I can't.
And still NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Only by DQ.
DQ.
Because of Ray Booyaka
What?
619.
What?
Interfered in the match.
What?
How is this possible?
What? In order for Eddie to win the match, Ray would have had to attack him in a DQ. If he attacked Del Rio would have won by disqualification.
That's right.
So that means that Rey Mysterio, ladies and gentlemen, who was in the opening match, has come in here in the final match to leave a statement on the mat, ladies and gentlemen, by leaving Eddie Guerrero flat on the mat.
Out.
He laid him out with a West Coast pop.
Booyaka, booyaka, Eddie Guerrero.
That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is huge. Eddie Guerrero's still the champion due to Rey Mysterio. I could see that being a wonderful, great triple threat main event.
Yes.
Throw Rey Mysterio into there, and then Del Rio gets pinned in the situation, and then you still got Eddie versus Rey later on for the NWA World title. Where were we at?
What? Are we doing storylines? What?
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 Storylines?
Holy moly!
Woo! We'd have weeks and weeks.
But that is it for this week. We hope you enjoyed our show, our big comeback on episode 80. After our little week. Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that.
That should have been taken out.
That should have been. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a huge part 4. We hope you enjoyed our brand new part 3.
Yes, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. You know? Let's talk about that, and let's hope.
Because you don't know. You won't know
You'll
what we're
never
going to
know.
talk about.
You'll never know. We may never know. Maybe spur of the moment.
It could be a spur of the moment.
But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the return of Jeb Salvage, as we always do.
And he'll be back again. He'll show his lovely face again.
Yes, he will.
Before 100, for sure.
Before 100, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, everybody loves part 2 and part 1 ringside news. So next week, we will rebook USWA, one of their weekly specials.
Yes, because they don't have
They didn't have
pay-per-views or anything.
They didn't have pay-per-views, so it's one of their weekly specials. We will rebook it, plus Survivor Series pay-per-view review from 2001 to 2005.
Woo! That's a lot of reviewing.
And the final. Glad I have my glasses there. I would have poked myself in the eye.
Don't poke yourself
The
out.
final long-term booking direction. We had 11. Now we're down to number 1.
Number 1.
From the WWE in 2015 and 2016. Of course, ringside news, the continuation of the list.
And a whole lot. WrestleCade. Well, the WrestleCade
WrestleCade, we will discuss WrestleCade. We may have some Ring of Honor news to throw in there.
And you know what? WrestleCade may be in part 3. We never know what's going to happen.
You never know what we're going to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. So just like with WWE, you never know what's going to happen, so you got to watch. Which kind of can figure it out nowadays.
Yes.
But anyway, back in the day, you never know. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for us this week on number 80.
Well, thank you all for coming back and watching with us, and we'll see you next week for number 81 as we get that march to 100, and we will keep on marching until we get it right here at Top Rope Reality. for always, I am your host, Mike Hogan.
And I'm your co-host, Justin
I'm more of a
Kai.
host, too.
I'm a co-host.
We're two hosts.
Two hosts.
We're
and
hostess cupcakes here.
The hostess with the mostest.
Yes.
And I am Justin Kai.
And we'll see each and every one of you next week for Top Rope Reality. Thanks for watching again. What's going on?
Like a creepy Bray Wyatt story or something.
Yeah.
That's scary.